welcome to Concrete Farm. Today we're back working on the combine. We had an alternator go out in it, so Chance and I went to our local rebuilder who's been in business for 40 plus years, and he said it was no good, and it was off of a 67 Chevy car. So the guy before us must have went the cheap route. I bought this combine used, and he put the wrong alternator. It's supposed to have a 90 amp, and plus it wasn't for field, so it's a wide open one, dirt and everything, get in it, water. So we got a sealed one, 90 amp, and put it on correctly, and now we've got charging our batteries up. So now what we're doing, Chance is under here, you'll point out what I'm talking about. The brake drum has the brake shoes inside locked up, so we have to disassemble that shaft, that axle shaft, right there, right to left, yeah, all the way over here to the input side. And those two collars have to come off and slide together. They're notched.
Slide this way, and
then we can pull the shaft out. So Chance is going to do that while I gab and watch him work.
Let's see here.
He volunteered.
I'm sure we remember how everything goes back together.
Now to be...
So I think I can just hammer it on this thing right here with the punch. It might come out.
Yeah, knock that bolt out.
Yeah.
To be honest, we've never done this ever. Never ever. So this is a bit of a learning curve for us.
Let me see here.
Oh, I see why you were trying to rotate it. I see.
Yeah. I can just get it to work its way out.
It looks like it budged a little. But the brake's hung up on the right. It'll actually grab and turn the whole machine to the right.
Is it moving at all?
You might have moved it 1/8 of an inch at this point. Hit a little harder. I'm mad at it. We just put some heat on it. It looks like it's moved. I can't tell though.
Put that nut back on there.
Why?
I'll try hitting a little more on it.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Now we've never done this, but we understand how drum brakes work. Oh, yeah, it's coming out.
Okay, I had a little trick. There's this little spacer thing right here. I took that off and gave me a little bit more room.
Gotcha. So. Then we got to knock this roll pin out on this side. It's got an actual roll pin in it. And then we're hoping those two collars will slide for us, and we don't end up having to fight them the whole way out. It's not wanting to move like that. I want to put a screwdriver behind it and pry.
Okay.
See if it's more of a wedging issue. Let me grab a screwdriver. So we're about to get knee deep into this project here. We don't know how long it's going to take us to get it done, but we can't use it in the field right now because it wants to get hot. And if it gets real hot, it starts to smoke, and it actually grabs right now and spins the machine. The direction of the brake's grabbing. That in case you want it, and that in case that doesn't work. So we're gonna try to get up close and personal here with it. You might even hit that with a hammer. Fork it, right and bang on it with a hammer. That did.
Good idea.
Actually, looks like it worked pretty good.
Okay, there's that.
Alrighty.
We're still good.
One down.
Okay, now I gotta do that one.
This one looks like we hit from this side. Will that collar slide or anything? That outer collar there? Yeah, it's moving.
Oh.
Watch your eyes, please. Watch your eyes. Alright. So, look at all that rust.
What are we supposed to do with this?
Slide up here in the middle. Alright.
And then this just slides this
probably
way.
against that drum with that crowbar and see if it'll even move. See if you can even get it to budge. That's nice and rusty. Have to bang on it while you pry.
Oh boy.
It's looking... What we thought about doing is...
Got some glasses.
Yeah. What we thought also about doing was welding a little lip on it and giving us kind of a wedge point so we could, you know, bang on it with something to get it off with. Trying to find him a pair of glasses that aren't absolutely filthy. I don't know which ones these he uses. So things have taken a turn. You always know it's gotten difficult when you have to get the welder out. So what's happened is we've had to jack the tire up to get the gear off of a bind. We think it was resting in a bind so that collar wouldn't slide. So we're welding some nipples onto this 1/2-inch shaft here. We're gonna try to punch it off with the air chisel.
See what's gonna happen.
So we're gonna try to buzz it off.
See if maybe that'll hold or not.
May have to put another fatter piece on it.
Yeah.
May just knock that right off.
Where's my glasses? Thank you.
We'll see what happens here. You may just knock that weld right off. Push. Yeah, it's knocking all the rust out of that collar.
It's holding.
Yep, there it goes.
Going?
Yeah, it's moving.
Yay.
Yes. And there's our nipple. All right, we know it works, so our theory's good. You know, we have to get the stick welder out.
Okay. We'll try it again.
Anyway, I'll come back when we have it maybe off. At this point, it's gonna get loud and ridiculous. So we're just trying to use our little Lincoln field welder here we use for most field repairs. It's a lot more convenient to drag out here. But it may not be strong enough to hold on with that little air chisel can handle. So we'll be back. Okay, an incremental update. We have achieved success on this end. Get it off. Now we're working on this end. Same principle. Air chisel getting nice and hot. Lots of penetrating oil. We've welded the lip on. When we're done, we'll grind all that off and fix it and make it look right. But this is step by step at the moment. So we're having some success. We just don't have a torch out here, so we're having to use the best we can of this yellow lava. It's getting it hot. It's just not, you know, acetylene hot. Almost there. I'll give you an update when we get it off. Okay, another quick update. We have gotten it off. It took a bunch of heat and a bunch of air hammer, but that cobalt air hammer beat the crap out of it. Chances well held. So if you guys get into this situation, we learned this from another guy also. Air hammer the way is the best way. I mean literally. So we've got the shaft out now. So now all we gotta do is beat the drum off. And I think we have it. So it looks good. Chance did a good job. He's a beast. All right, we'll come back here in a minute when we get the drum off and all that, and show why the brakes are hung up. All right, so back to the combine. A little quick update. We were able to get everything apart with air hammer and tension. So here's the inner seal. It doesn't appear to be leaking. We're thinking maybe this brake booster's leaking, or this whatever that's called, the cylinder, the mass cylinder, slave cylinder, I don't know what you call it. That pushes and spanges the brakes out, and it's wet everywhere. So and this tractor doesn't run down the road at high speed, so we're pretty sure it didn't sling it everywhere. But we're gonna go ahead and change the seal since we have it out, and it is full of oil. You probably can't see in there, but it is full of oil. And then we're gonna brake clean all this, and it all seems to work. Everything seems to be moving and working. So it's all moving. Springs are all good. I mean, they're all covered in oil, so they're not rusty. But we'll try to get it apart. We'll brake clean it. We're going to put the half shaft back in it because that goes into the gearbox. We'll put the half shaft in to keep it sealed, and we'll power clean it all down. And then come back and try to adjust the brakes and see if these plungers are even working in here. If not, we may have to buy rebuild kits for these and rebuild. This side we don't think works at all. The other side does work because if you put the brakes on it, they do work. We'll try to bleed that. You can bleed them back here. There's a bleeder valve back there off of that brake line. We'll try to do some stuff. We'll see if we can get them to work. I wonder where those line comes in right here, doesn't it? Is that a brake line?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that goes right into this. So we'll try to bleed everything. There's probably a bleeder valve up here. Oh yeah, feel it right there. We'll try to bleed everything off. See, there may be air in them. It was, Chance, you said it was empty on brake fluid, right?
Yeah,
it had no brake fluid in it.
So that's probably where it's going.
So we'll clean all this off with air guns and some brake clean, and we'll try to see if we can get the brake shoes. The pads are more than sufficient. That one's separated from the plate, but we don't run this machine down the interstate or roads or anything, so that's probably not a problem for us. Anyway, but we'll try to get it all cleaned up and see if we can do with it. All right, another quick update. We have got the left brake finally bled. To quite a bit of work. These are the brake cylinders. There's a right and a left. And the master cylinder is on the top of it, which we had to remove the floor plate for. I'll show you in a second. And then right there's the right brake drum. And we just got it finally bled. We had to heat the bleeder up and break it loose. It's been in there so long. And then up here is the reservoir on the left, on your right. It's about half empty now. We've got it drained. We're about to do the other brake on the right side now. And then that there, how you access the clutch fluid for the clutch pedal. So we've got all that. It's been a tedious crawling in and out process. Thankfully, Chance is a good skinny fella, not a big husky 230 guy like me. It's hard for me to get in and out a lot of these small places. So we've got the half shaft pulled, brake bleeders at the top, and then we'll try to bleed it out. They had them brakes in essence maxed out, so we'll try to get that corrected. Also, we'll clean all the rust off these shafts, these spline ends. Chance is in there doing that now. But it was, I mean, as you tell, I'm breathing. We're climbing in and out, in and out, in and out. Here's the horrible part. The brake bleeders are behind this, at the top under the machine. So you have to sit in this hole over here, reach across. That one was real hard because it's right there, the back. And you can't see. So I had to be the eyes on this side and he had to be the hands on that side. And with all this crap in the way, you can't get your arm around there for one guy to do it all. Well, not at least us at this point. So that's where we're currently at with it. It's been a tough deal. I don't know if there's a lot of videos out there on bleeding brakes on a combine, especially this old. But that's what we're at. The Chance is currently grinding the spline ends and getting all that rust off. And we like to use a little bit of red grease when we slide that stuff back together, just a thin film of it, to keep some of that rust from occurring. And it helps it slide back together because I don't think they're even required to be oiled or greased. We only do that really for our ease of installation. But just a real thin layer. That way they slide together real smooth, and then we don't have to fight with them in case we have to pull it off for some reason. So that's where we're at. We'll get an update when we get closer to being done.
All right, we're testing out the brakes.
We'll have a seat.
Moving pretty effortlessly.
Oh, it's moving way easier than it's supposed to, than it normally does.
Brakes good?
I tried it, that it wasn't even a test. Oh, she'll throw you right out of the seat, she will. This is some serious spatial management skill right here.
Oh yeah. Woo. Oh, yeah. Working good.
Yeah, it's working.
That's great.
Yeah, I think she's fixed. And it's nice and free. There's no, like, I don't feel that drag we've always felt.
Yeah. Holy cow. I think I might run into that side right there.
Negative. full speed, second gear, dude.
Should be going faster than that?
It's like 1,500 RPM.
Oh.
That's not enough.
Victory lap.
Huh?
That's that victory lap. Oh yeah, we got brakes. A lot better than not having brakes.
Yes. Get a heavy fuel smell from the exhaust. Second gear.
Wonder why we're only getting 1,500 RPM.
I don't know. Seems like we got fuel restriction. Well, they work just fine.
Great. Fantastic. Alright, just recapping what we did. This is the correct setup. So we had to go ahead and put the shaft back in, and so we had to have these pieces slid all the way back over here and all the way over here, and then you put the shaft in place, slide these onto the other little shafts, and then you have to put this roll pin in, slide it all the way over, and that allows you some room so you can slide the shaft this way and that way, trying to adjust it to get in the right position, so you can put this bolt through as well. It just holds them in place and keeps the shaft from coming off. But it's all put back together now. Everything looks good, and we just tested it out. Fantastic. Another thing on the combine that we fixed while we were tackling that is we had to put a whole new fan system on this. And so the problem is the newer one has this big fat corner piece on the fins instead of these nice curved ones. And so what we had to do is go ahead and drill some new holes with some self tappers and sort of space it so that it's not rubbing on this middle cage. So we did leave the originals in. We tried to keep it as original as possible. Problem is they don't make this old fan style anymore, so we had to customize it, which kind of sucks, but it doesn't look too bad. So it's working like it should.